Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of me playing through an Esoteric Ebb demo. This is version 2.6.1. It's a version I downloaded sometime in 2024, but I'm only now getting around to playing. It probably not representative of the game as it currently is in development, and not how it will be when it's released, but hopefully at least it's giving us a good representation of the base mechanics of what's going on, and probably like the basis of the story and the world that will be in the finished game. One thing I want to show off that we didn't look at last time, and that was an omission on my part, is have a look at the credits. So let's pop those up on screen there. Lovely. Yeah, so it's like primarily the work of 4 people. It's already quite impressive. There's definitely quite a volume of writing that we see in the game already. Okay, we'll restore this. So my autosave from the last time I played overwrote the original autosave that was just sort of hanging around there. So it seems like the dates go year, month, date, so they're backwards compared to what I'm used to in the UK. So I think the autosave that was left there was from 2023 in hindsight. Let's go back in here. Let's see what the game is going to meet us with. Let's load this file. Ability score will represent your capabilities. The average is 10. Anything above 15 is exceptional. Anything above 20 is the domain of demigods. Anything below 5 means complete inability to perform basic tasks. Reaching 0 in any ability score means instant death. How do we reach 0? How do our ability scores decrease? However, the modifiers caused by your equipment, yes, they can be modified, does not count towards these capabilities. The implication of that is up to you to imagine. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yes. We're in a zoomed out view from where we were before. There is a person there. I was hoping we would get to speak to somebody who's a member of the living, because I think that would help complete I guess a view of like the mechanical basis of this game. Right, there's a tree here. Let's behold it. Sapling from a bracken tree is yet to grow its spots. Okay. I can't do anything else with that. That's fine. So it's a bit. It's interesting that your ability to interact with things depends on the location of the symbols that appear around the object. So I suppose it makes sense if the screen tracked down to reveal enough of the object that you get to see all your options. Yeah, I suppose that would make sense rather than auto walk you there. Don't know. This is a barrel full of strange rocks. Let's trifle with it. A shard of jaw. Interesting. So jaw is the island, and a person who's talking to us and comes in shards. Shard of jaw. A bright rock. It fits your hand nicely. These can be found all over Norvik, and some speculate they are all shards of Jaw's pillar. To untrained hands, they have no inherent value, but they've put inherent there by accident. But you might use these to alter fate itself. Spend in dialogues to unlock dice checks. Interesting. So like a mystical do-over, by the sounds of it. Intriguing. I think this opening area is doing a pretty good job of tutorializing us, introducing us to the world in a fairly gentle manner. I do like the general sense of gentleness in this game. It's quite the red eye of Earth. So that's one of the gods that we found out about last time. Jaw left his mark across the bands. Today it is a universal sign of magic. Oh, okay. So like our symbol here for the spellbook is Jaw. So was Jaw a god as well? Looks like there's probably another corpse here. Let's have a behold. Your fate one day. Engage. Corpse number 2, a corpse under a cloth. Continue. Charisma DC 12, success. I'm sure this was a fun person once. Stop bothering the corpse sleeve. Okay. I don't want to trifle with the corpse, no. We're not doing any grave robbering in this playthrough. Alright, there's something here. The stone slabs are designed to slide along the iron beams. Interesting. Which iron beams, like, do they rotate around the circumference? I guess that could have utility. Some kind of plan here. A map of the Tolstad district. I've already got a map, right? It's in here somewhere. Inventory. Journal. It's in the journal. There we go. Nice. So, I think from the autosave document and the shape of this building, we're in Viscans. So I'm assuming the person behind the desk is going to be Viscan. Let's have a look at this little shelf of books here. Behold it. No, too much reading. Engage. Strange books. So many books. Labels in languages you've never seen before. Script symbols so alien it boggles how it could be anything but gibberish. Intelligence DC 12. Success. Some are written in old human script, some in Dwarven. There's a scroll with a symbol of Ilum on it. It would be a joy to read these. DC 9 success. Unless you want to spend years learning these languages, which you should, then you would be wise to cast Comprehend Languages. We don't have that spell. Wisdom DC 12 success. It would indeed. You could learn much from studying the words of others. Intelligence DC 9 success. Unfortunately, you do not have that spell with you at this point. Embarrassing. Continue. Strange books. The books taunt you bookishly. Leave the books alone. Well, maybe. Later on in the game, you can comprehend languages. Or spend... it's probably not the kind of game where you can sort of spend years off screen studying for something. But that would be interesting. Hang on, there's a little guy. Oh my goodness, okay. Behold, a ledger full of names. Ominous. Well, this seems like kind of a weird, negligent...
Good morning, cleric.
Oh, good morning. There's voice acting. Oh, there's a knife there. We can get tooled up. I suppose we ought to talk to this person first, right? Let's do it. They don't seem surprised to see us alive, which I guess indicates we probably weren't actually dead. Behold this person. Oh. Oh, that's really interesting. So instead of getting for like a sort of a significant NPC, you're not getting a text description of what we see as a character. You're getting the game mechanics. So I'd roll to behold. And there's different. I'm not. Oh, maybe this is like their feats. These 4 slots. But we've got 4 slots for feats. And you see one for DC 5, one for DC 10, and their actual stats are hidden as well. Should we try and behold? 15. Oh, okay. Yeah, so for anything up to DC 15, we now know. Okay. This is really interesting. This is an interesting way of doing things. So we know what their they've got better stats than we have, but that's fine. They're probably higher level. So this is Viscan, local mortician, who is a human reads folk. It's a level 17 entrepreneur, in inverted commas. Ability scores were revealed at 15. Oh, so 15 is the threshold for ability scores. We do get descriptions here. DC 5. The pale man handles corpses in a basement. Typical self-employed city contractor. DC 10. You remember hearing about this man. He used to be a dentist and a surgeon. DC 15. His study into the magical realm is immense, far beyond your capabilities. Some of these texts he surrounds himself with would suggest he can cast 5th or even 6th level spells. Couldn't be higher, could it? And then the final bit of information we didn't get because we didn't roll high enough. That's really interesting. How do we get out of this information? So if we do that... Yes, there's a one time only, so that's as much as you know about them. I guess maybe you could find out more through dialogue? That would make sense to me. I don't want to trifle with a stranger. Let's engage. Oh, a portrait. Nice. I was hoping there would be portraits for characters like... would have been nice if there was one for the zombie when we interacted downstairs. Yeah, that's cool. The cartoonist fits in, but maybe something a little bit more expressive would be good. Viscount, local mortician. The pale man sits hunched over a stack of forms, busy at work, his pencil slowly filling out line after line. On the top paper you see an icon of a fish. Intelligence DC 11, success. A great perch, the symbol of Norvik. These are official documents of the city. Continue.
Up and about, are we?
Thanks for the dialogue. That was Viscount speaking.
Wonderful. I'm Viscount, local entrepreneur and proprietor of this lich house. It appears you don't really belong here, but if there's anything I can do, cleric, just let me know.
Maybe the dead get up more often than not. That's another interpretation, right? Look around the room. Wisdom DC 11 success. Dimply lit. Aww, dimly lit. Oh, dimply lit is quite a nice expression, eh? And damp. A musky stench lingering in the air. You see books and flasks and stone altars around the circular chamber. There are several corpses present. I only saw one that I could trifle with. Intelligence DC 12. Success. These stone tables were once modular altars used in some advanced ritual. Okay, so it's been a religious building that's been repurposed as a mortuary, which seems to have been repurposed as an apple storehouse? Did you save my life? Viscount local mortician, he puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing. However, gain experience plus 5 XP. I'm afraid to say you've been through quite the turmoil, cleric. Tell me everything. Viscount local mortician. Of course, it must be confusing. To tell you the truth, some fishermen brought you here last night. River take ye, Quest Branch added. They'd caught you in their net, took you for a corpse. Not that I blame them, you weren't exactly in prime condition. Wisdom DC 12, success. Fair. Charisma DC 11, success. You quite literally live in this filthy uniform. No wonder they thought you were dead. Fair enough. How did I end up in a river? Well, he's not going to know that, is he? DC 9, success. Not a river. The river. Viscount local mortician. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of the bridges to Tolstad. We know what Tolstad is. I'm not going to click on that. Intelligence DC 9 success. There are 7 bridges over River Torna connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. I would never fall. It must have been an assassination attempt. I must have slipped. Happens all the time. Perhaps there is an esoteric explanation to all of this. Yes. Viscount local mortician. Perhaps. You would know, cleric. Who were these fishermen? This is the stuff we need to know. Viscount local mortician. River guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be that. River guilders. Intelligence DC 9 success. River Guild, a company focused on fishing and faring on the river. Where can I find these fishermen? Viscount local mortician. He ponders your question. I did not ask for names, sorry to say. But perhaps Water Lane? That's just a guess. Water Lane. Charisma DC 9 success. Water Lane, the largest trade port in Norvik, located in a massive tunnel piercing the centre of Tolstad. It is a so-called marvel of dwarven engineering, inverted commas, and it's the reason so many people commute to Tolstad over the many bridges. Okay, are you being cheeky because they take bridges instead of this tunnel, or is that because it's in Tolstad and they come to Tolstad for it? Are you being sincere? DC 11 success. Good guess. Lots of boaters hang out there. Viscount local mortician. Either that or the local tavern. I hope you find them. So I am, in fact, alive. Viscon, local mortician. The pale man stops for a moment. He looks you up and down. Yes. I believe you are. I have some other questions, I think. Move on. Viscon, local mortician. Do you now? I require assistance with some things. There's a zombie in your basement. Tell me what you know about the tea shop. I have some personal questions. Wisdom DC 28. Figure out what's weird about this guy. Okay, interesting. Are the little bubbles at the... Don't notice these little diamonds at the bottom, because they normally appear like at the bottom of your dialogue track. Do they normally bobble up and down, or is that when in a particular circumstance? So we need wisdom of we need to get 28 or more to figure out what's weird about this guy. We've got a +3 wisdom bonus, so the most we could get is 23 on a roll. I guess maybe if you get a 20 and you get a critical success, that would work. I don't know. But we've got -2 DC. There's a zombie downstairs, so that's interesting. Let's require assistance with some things. Viscon, local mortician. Of course, cleric. Anything for the city. I don't know where to go. So, what do you know about spellcasting? You called me cleric. Make air quotes. That's all the help I need, thanks. I don't know where to go. Constitution DC 10. Success. Your shaky voice makes you sound positively Fort Vlad. Aha, intelligence DC 9, success. Fort Vlad. Dwarvish word, meaning desperation, anguish, hysteria brought on from mental pain. Ah. Viscon, local mortician. I don't mean to tell you what to do, cleric, but there is a certain rumour that our local goblin chieftain is waiting for you. Goblin chieftain? Gain experience +5 XP. Don't think we're going to level up in this demo. A Viscon, local mortician. Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She is down in the Goblin Garden. Charisma, DC 7 success. Of course you've heard of her. Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. Intelligence, DC 11 success. She leads one of the 3 goblin tribes exonerated by Earth after the conquest. Okay. Charisma, DC 12 success. Yeah, you don't want to fuck with that one. Whoa. We've got all sorts of things we're unlocking. Viscon, local mortician. They call her the Dragon of Tolstad. I'm not afraid of some goblin woman. She sounds scary. The goblins live in a garden. Well, not quite. You'll see when you get there. And when you do, make sure to pay your respects. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. I'd even go so far as to call her de facto lawkeeper here on this island fortress. Dexterity DC 8. Success. Wait. This is part of the job? Talking with some Betty Goblin Queen? Viscon, local mortician. You may find her at the southern tip of Tolstad. The pale man says and keeps scribbling on his papers in front of you. Charisma DC 12, success. He does not value your time. So, what do you know about spell casting? Quite a bit. My prayer book is all fucked up. Viscon, local mortician. Yes, I noticed. You should speak with Crowland down on Water Lane View. It'll cost you, but he could fix it right up. As a cleric, you obviously only need your faith to cast spells, but I'm sure a spellbook won't hurt in the long run. Can you teach me magic? A slight smirk creeps onto the face of Viscon, local mortician. I sadly don't have time for a proper lecture at the moment. After the election, I could make time if you're interested. Intelligence DC 12 success. Great knowledge awaits. Viscon, local mortician. Until then, you are free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. Can you explain the very basics of spellcasting? Viscon, local mortician. Oh, I mean, of course. Intelligence DC 12 success. Embarrassing. Wisdom DC 12 success. He wonders if your head is still filled with water. Viscon, local mortician. As a wizard, you memorize your spells before casting. As an arcane cleric, you must memorize your spells during prayer at a shrine. There's one downstairs by the apples. Where can I find more shrines? Viscan local mortician. There's the Temple of Earth, of course. It's just up the stairs, past the pillar. There's also one on Water Lane View, I believe, past the trade post. You'll find more, hidden around every corner, I promise you that. How do I get more spells? Viscan local mortician. 2 ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the palace archives. Let's find out about the palace. Charisma DC 7 Success. The Palace, an unofficial nickname for the current rulers of Norvik, named after the Palace District in which most central authority resides. Let's find out about the Palace District. Intelligence DC 10 Success. The Palace District, one of 5 districts in Norvik, home of aristocrats, bureaucrats, and the remnants of Earth's court. Viscan local mortician. However, I don't believe you have time for that. So you only have the other option. What's that? Spell scrolls. Oh yeah, there were a bunch downstairs. Viscan local mortician. Yes, those were mine. Oh. You are very much allowed to use them. I'm glad to assist the city in any way. The Wisdom DC 12 Success. He put them out for you on purpose. Why? Viscan local mortician. Now, Torstad is filled with all kinds of strange caches, so you'll probably encounter more by just looking around. If you get your hands on a scroll, then just memorize it. Cantrips or spells, doesn't matter. I'm sure you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. I am. Strike a heroic pose. Viscan local mortician. He nods to you and goes back to his writing. That's all I have to ask about spellcasting. Viscan local mortician. Very well. Continue. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Oast. Wisdom DC 12 Success. Wow, that's evil. Strength DC 9 Success. Treating a servant like that is despicable. Intelligence DC 12 Success. Sounds like good practice. Maybe I will. I don't want to do that. In fact, it sounds quite awful. Can I try casting on you instead? Let's go for the middle option. I don't want to do that. In fact, it sounds quite awful. Viscan local mortician. Fair enough. Just remember that spells are terribly useful when applied properly. I am enjoying... There's definitely the same spirit of ego puncturing going on in how the response options that you get, and also kind of the implicit reception of the character in the world, and I think that suits particularly kind of a cleric or a paladin in a Dungeons and Dragons style world, who have kind of a heroic archetype around them. I think that works particularly well, and I maybe like it more than the puncturing of Harry Dubois' ego in Disco Elysium. I think it's perhaps more fitting genre-wise, maybe. You called me cleric. Make air quotes. Viscan local mortician. I did, yes. What gave it away? Viscan local mortician. He stops for a second and glares at you. A heavily armoured man in Earthguard colours with a prayer book on his hip. Earthguard. Strength DC 10, Success. Earthguard. The heroes of Norvik, keepers of city law, defenders of humanity. Your brothers. Intelligence. DC 9, Success. Thoughts land on the pages of spells you've meticulously worked on for years. Viscan local mortician. They might have found you in the river, but you're clearly of city stock. Could be happenstance. I am indeed the cleric. Gain experience plus 5 XP. Viscan local mortician. Good for you. Charisma DC 11 Success. An example of that sarcasm thing I mentioned before. Viscan local mortician. Though I'd love to ask, what type of cleric are you? Oh, so hang on, you'd love to ask, but you are asking? Type. Viscount Locomatician. Yes, if you are a clergyman, you might run a congregation for a local religion or deity. Strength DC 10 success. Holy man on a holy mission. Viscount Locomatician. Then there are clerics of the bureaucratic variety, city officials speaking for the religious state. Charisma DC 11 success. Rules are meant to be broken. You're not some stiff councilman. Viscount Locomatician. You, however, must be an arcane cleric. Arcane. Arcane, one of the three pillars of magic. It is represented by the forces that make up all esoteric events. Those who play dual strings tap into these powers, programming the laws of the existence around their whims. No, I am a basic clergyman. I'm a boring bureaucrat, yes. No, I am the chosen one. You are correct. I am an arcane cleric. Let's go for arcane. We gained 5 XP again. I wonder, is this a bit of low-key, late-on character creation? So we are defining this as we go. Possibly. Viscount Locomatician. I figured as much when I saw your prayer book, spell book, or do call it a prayer book. A few more typos creeping in here, but there's a lot of text in this demo. Either way, you clearly play dual strings as much as you channel this divinity. Intelligence DC 12 success. The Pale Man knows a lot of your training. Interesting. That's all the help I need, thanks. Viscount Locomatician. Great. Anything else you wanted to ask? There's a zombie in your basement. Viscount Locomatician. Oh, how quaint. No, an undead abomination right below. That's not an appropriate response. Sure, why is it there? Sure, why is it there? A Viscount Locomatician. We're closely connected with the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. However, I will have to take this up with Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HBT protection. Oh, we couldn't find out what HBT was before. Let's find out now. Charisma DC 9 success. HBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe. One of the 3 goblin tribes in Norfolk, and arguably the most influential, led by Lady Miska Sageleaf. Wisdom DC 16 failure. Oh, so it's all a misunderstanding then. Good. Ah, interesting. Wait, no, I don't actually believe you. Is underlined. That's interesting. They kept moving apples down there. You don't seem very alarmed about this. Great to have cleared. Great to have that cleared up. I have some other questions. So what was the implication there? So the goblin tribe should be protecting against zombies coming in. Let's go for wait. No, I don't actually believe you. Gained 5 XP, okay. Viscount Locomatician. What do you mean, cleric? Oh, you're a criminal harboring zombie workers. You need to be punished, sign counter. The zombie is clearly working for you. That's illegal. You're doing something weird weird here. I don't like it one bit. The zombie is clearly working for you. That is illegal. Viscount Locomatician. I greatly apologise for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I will make sure to tighten up security in the future. No, you're... Viscount Locomatician. Ost! We'll do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. Oh, look, Ost. Now I like that portrait. That's really nice. Ost, Chief of Security. The kobold gives a screeched yell. Yes, master! Viscount Locomatician. I'll also make sure to report this to both the HBT and the militia. Charisma DC 12 success. He won't let you get a word in. Amazing. You're clearly doing something shady here, so... Viscount Locomatician. Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection from the palace arcanists. Let's find out about arcanists. Intelligence DC 9 success. Arcanist. The Majorcrats who ruled pre-coast war human civilizations in Old Diminor, almost said Old Dinosaur, also a very minor political party in Norfolk. Viscount Local Mortician. If there is anything unbecoming about my business here, it shall be uncovered and unveiled. Dexterity DC 9 success. Holy shit, he just keeps going. Viscount Local Mortician. Thank you very much for your service, Cleric. It is because of great men like you that this city still stands. I'm sure a good word to your patriarch will assure a promotion of some kind as well, especially with this great work you're doing on the tea shop. This Strength DC 18, make him shut up. That would be very difficult. Charisma DC 15, resist his incredible wordplay. Challenging, but possible. Or, you know, maybe you're right. I'm probably just confused. Let's go for the charisma one. Let's try to resist. Oh, sugar. A natural one. Failure. Charisma. As the pale man blabbered on, you attempted to gather your thoughts and make some kind of point. Go on, just open your mouth and say something, damn it. I think that... Viscount Local Mortician. I agree, and whatever compromise we do end up at, I feel lucky to have had your expertise here on this day. Who knows what would have happened otherwise? Charisma, stop muttering, just say it. Yell, I'm trying, at the top of your lungs. Your screech echoes throughout the chamber. Viscount Local Mortician. For the first time, you see a genuinely baffled expression appear on his face. He keeps staring at you for a few uncomfortable seconds. Then he says, Cleric, with all due respect. Wow. Perhaps you should see a professional. Right, so, I mean, the cringe comedy is definitely Disco Elysium. The taking physical damage when you have a distressing mental event is also very Disco Elysium. Continue. Wisdom. His comment hits you in the heart and soul. Continue. Constitution, DC 12 failure. Your legs are shaking. Continue. Viscount Local Mortician. I believe we are done with this particular topic. Anything else you needed? Okay, so it hasn't got any easier or harder to do, figure out what's weird about this guy. Maybe it'll be possible another time. Tell me, what do you know about the tea shop? We should ask. Viscount Local Mortician. What's there to say? I know about as much as your average Norvician. He does a humble shrug. How much does your average Norvician know? Viscount Local Mortician. Very little, I'm afraid. Wisdom DC 12 success. His eyes, they do not waver. DC 8 success. He's looking at you waiting for another question, despite you obviously wanting more information. Charisma DC 10 success. The pale man is toying with you. And now you can tell me what you know about it. Viscount Local Mortician. Of course. I heard the explosion. I went out to investigate only to find the tea shop caught up in a raging inferno. Gained experience 5 XP. The Tolstad militia were already heading into action, so I went back inside so as not to be in the way. Charisma DC 12 success. He's describing it with a wonderful rhythm. Either he is a great storyteller, or this speech has been rehearsed. Viscount Local Mortician. And that is that. What were you doing when the explosion occurred? Did you hear anything peculiar? Done asking questions about the incident. What were you doing when the explosion occurred? Viscount Local Mortician. Working. He motions towards the stack of papers. Intelligence DC 10 success. The explosion occurred at noon, but the day it happened was an official city holiday. Why would he be working on tolls leaving? I can't look up what tolls leaving is, sadly. Although it is emboldened, which doesn't really happen. For anything else? What sort of work? You're working on a city holiday? What sort of work? Viscount Local Mortician. If you must know, it was the end-of-life report on a sailor. Tragic. Wisdom DC 11 success. Don't pry, we'll get annoyed. Constitution DC 10 success. He doesn't want to speak on the subject, but he'll let you ask one question. I can feel it. Charisma DC 12 success. Let's see if he's lying. Ask something really specific. What was his name? How did he die? A human? What was the date of his birth? Very tragic. How did he die? Seems like a more natural lead on from it than anything else there. Viscount Local Mortician. Drowning. but I prefer to not speak too much on the subject, however. Wisdom, DC 8 success, understandable. Did you hear anything peculiar? Viscon, local mortician. A loud bang, some shouting afterwards. How loud? What sort of shouting? Nothing else? That's enough about the sound. What sort of shouting? From the militia. They were rushing to the scene. The fire prevention declaration has truly done wonders for the city. I didn't get a chance to go back and ask other questions about the previous point, which is a shame. Let's find out about the fire prevention declaration. Intelligence DC 12 success, the fire prevention declaration. Signed into action a few years ago, the Fire Prevention Declaration is a governmental attempt to curb the spreading of fires by employing always ready folk in every district. The response times have been pushed down to less than 10 minutes, and that's very good. Nothing else? Viscon, local mortician. The entire district almost turned into an inferno. Yes, there was quite a lot of commotion. Nothing that stands out, however. Like, actually nothing else? Viscon, local mortician. Not that I recall. Are you sure? Viscon, local mortician. The pale man stares at you for a while. Charisma DC 10 success. How thick are you? Wisdom DC 11 success. He does not want to tell you anything else. Viscon, local mortician. Pretty sure. How loud? We'll try it. Viscon, local mortician. It shook the Lich House. And mind you, this is not some ordinary basement. This is a remnant tower going hundreds of feet deep into the earth. I'd be surprised if anyone on Tolstad missed it. That's enough about the sound. Viscon, local mortician. Yes, not much to say about it, I'm afraid. I'm done asking questions about the incident. How about what were you doing when the explosion occurred? Well, yeah, so maybe we can get to the holiday part again. Working. You motioned towards a stack of papers. Yes. You were working on a city holiday. Let's ask that this time. Viscon, local mortician. Yes. Dexterity DC 10 success. You see his eyes fixating on you a bit too hard. He's searching for an answer. Just for a split second. Continue. Viscon, local mortician. I was behind. You know how it is. I am never behind. I'm pretty much always behind. I suck. I am never behind. Viscon, local mortician. Didn't mean to imply that either. Alright, we can't get any more from that line of inquiry. I'm done asking questions about the incident. Viscon, local mortician. Okay, anything else? I have some personal questions. Intelligence DC 7 success. Stop. We've already wasted enough time. Just leave. Viscon, local mortician. The pale man shifts in his seat. Wisdom DC 11 success. He makes it clear he does not want to answer these personal questions. Viscon, local mortician. Very well. What the hell should I ask about? Come up with a ton of random questions. Come up with a ton of random questions. DC 9 success. This is your job, asking questions. Getting answers. Intelligence DC 11 success. Yes, retrieve the knowledge. Charisma DC 12 success. Don't be too intrusive. He's already tired of you. Right. What are you voting in the upcoming election? Tell me more about this place, a Lich House. Why are there a lot, and I mean a lot, of apples downstairs? What's the deal with point at the green creature by the stairs? Do you ever wonder about the world? I've run out of personal questions, actually. The apples, that's the most important thing, right? Viscon, local mortician. Yes. A deal between me and Lady Sageleaf. A deal? Viscon, local mortician. Shared storage. It got quite heated here for a few years ago during a certain crisis, so now during less heated moments they store a lot of produce there. A win-win. Do you mean heaters in, like, the climatic conditions, or? Dexterity DC 10 success. Really is highly impressive. Isn't it some kind of violation to store fresh produce next to corpses? Viscon, local mortician. No. Intelligence DC 12 success. He's right, unfortunately. The goblins have unique policies in place, separate from the rest of the Norvikian agricultural community. Should we... Let's ask about the Lich House. I think that might help? Viscan local mortician. This is my establishment. We handle dead bodies for the city these days. Not terribly lucrative, but it is good work. How's business? Do you store the bodies down here? Was this always a morgue-related business? Is it profitable? How did you afford such a prime piece of real estate? What do you pay the kobold? Can you hire me? I want to ask for something else. You know what? I feel like I don't want to ask any of these. Let's just ask about the election, because that's one of our quests, apparently. Can you check your quests in... No, you can't. That's fine. Can you do spells? No reason to cast that. I can't. You can't randomly charm person on people. That's a shame. Okay. What are you voting in the upcoming election? Let's call that quits, I think. Viscan local mortician. Interesting question. A bit invasive, but I'll oblige. I'll be voting for the Party of Norvik. Numanism, while crude and outdated in certain respects, have proven both its stability and economic assurance for business owners such as myself. Intelligence DC 11 success. The people's nects, self-proclaimed protectors of Earth's legacy, the Party of Norvik want to uphold the divine right of a dead divine dictator. Gained experience, 5 XP. Viscan local mortician. They have my vote. Charisma DC 10 success. Not unusual for well-off human men to vote for the Earthfolk Party, although this fellow doesn't strike me as the religious kind. Earthfolk, the people of Earth, the ancestors of those who reconquered the Escani coast, true mythological heroes. Constitution DC 8 success. A vote is cast for self-interest. It takes a special man to vote for any other reason. Earth's spirit will live on through his people. It must be nice to have such economic assurance. And if they win, how long do you think it will be before another assembly is called? We need a shepherd, not a coalition of sheep. It must be nice to have such economic assurance. Viscount local mortician. No offence meant, cleric. I am aware not all men are so fortunate, but ripping society from its root is not the solution, in my opinion. Although ripping never hurt anybody. Yes, we should let those in power stay in power for as long as possible to create a stable society. Can't we change things a little bit as a treat? Viscount local mortician. Maybe one day. We will see once the election is over. I wonder what the R was for. Intelligence DC 7 success. Stop, you've already wasted enough time. Just leave. Viscount local mortician. The powerman shifts in his seat. Wisdom DC 11 success. He makes it clear he does not want to answer these personal questions. Very well. Oh, it's kind of looped back round. How do I get out of this combo? What the hell should I ask about? Constitution DC 8 success. There's discontent in your stomach. Viscount local mortician. Powerman clears his throat. Run out of personal questions, actually. Good to hear. Any less personal questions then, or are we done here? I'm going to go now. Spellcasting opportunity. Oh, charming person. Oh. Cast charm person using first. Yeah, let's try it. Let's see what happens. 14? Legendary. Spell failed. Target has legendary resistance. You move your hand and open your mouth to speak. As you do, the cleric. The spell fizzles. Viscount local mortician. Please, do not. With a single glance, the pale man dismisses your spell. DC 11 success. What kind of creature is he to have such power? Charisma DC 11 success. This guy's genuinely horrifying. Do not anger him. Explain yourself. I say. Sorry, had to try. Perform a tactical retreat. I mean, I don't have to ask him to explain himself, so let's perform a tactical retreat. Okay. The stairs. Head for the stairs. Go, go, go. Leave. Human now cause trouble. That was voices upstairs and the smell of salt. Right, was there anything else to look at? Can I interfere with anything here? Oh, there's a coin and a... Right, can I... Right, let's see what happens if I look at this coin. Behold it. A pocket watch. Yours? Can I trifle with this pocket watch? Esoteric. Oh, pocket watch, +1 intelligence, advantage in esoteric events. Can I take it? Oh, I did apparently. What about this blade? Almost an entire sword. Now you were pictured with that in the character creation screen, so I think we should try with that as well. Broken sword, +2 strength, -1 wisdom. We'll take it. I think that seems to fit that item very well, those stats. Okay, well, nobody seemed to mind that I did that. Let's talk to Ost, Chief of Security. Let's behold Ost. Yeah, I really like Ost's portrait. It's very characterful. Okay, we failed to find anything out about Ost. Brilliant. Let's engage with Ost. Ost, Chief of Security. Wiggling his little clawed feet, the kobold follows your every move with cold, unflinching yellow eyes. Must say you behave. You don't tell me what to do. You're adorable. I have some questions for you. Thank you for your time. I have some questions for you. Short question. Go. Who are you? Ost, Chief of Security. I am Ost. I am Security Chief in Lich House. Wisdom DC 12 success. The kobold appears proud. There is no humility in its voice. Constitution DC 10 success. A strong little one. Nearly immovable. You are a kobold. How'd you get this gig? You wouldn't actually shoot me, would you? Can I borrow your crossbow? Or where were you when the tea shop incident occurred? Yeah, let's do that. Ulster Chief of Security. Incident? Tea shop blow up. Boom. Big boom? Big boom. When it happened, I was on Water Lane, on mission. A mission? What are you doing on Water Lane? I feel like I need to ask you something else. A mission? Ulster Chief of Security. Not mission. I meant to say errand. What were you doing on Water Lane? Ulster Chief of Security. Milk. Doing milk. Ulster Chief of Security. Deliver. You deliver milk? Ulster Chief of Security. Yes. Side hustle. Intelligence DC 10 success. Kobolds don't even drink milk. I want to know more. Although they're reptiles, they would not consume milk. Charisma DC 10 success. I want to know a lot less. Ask questions about the milk. Ulster Chief of Security. The kobold stares at you. Intelligence DC 10 success. The milk situation is intense. Where does the milk come from? Ulster Chief of Security. Cows? And where do you get the cow milk? Ulster Chief of Security. Market? Who buys the milk? Ulster Chief of Security. Humans. Water Lane humans. They pay many for fresh milk before dawn. Dexterity DC 9 success. Side hustles are always smart. You should do a milk run later. Ulster Chief of Security. It pays. Do kobolds produce milk? Ulster Chief of Security. No. Intelligence DC 12 success. They are draconic in nature. They lay eggs. Do you like milk? Ulster Chief of Security. No. Continue. Strength DC 10 success. Milk is a form of pure vitality, nature's most precious liquid. You're missing out. Or I could take a test to say I also don't like milk. It's a low DC. I've got +3. I think we should do it. The risk's low. Yes, aced it. Like 18. You smirk, a confident laugh escaping your lips. You then turn towards the ceiling, smiling. I also don't like milk. Charisma, your comment has made a dent upon the world. Strength DC 10 success. What a stance as a human. Who could have ever thought such a thing about you? Intelligence DC 12 success. This is why they should all follow you. You are a worthy leader. Charisma DC 11 success. Win them over with lies and deceit. Control them through flattery and love. Ulster Chief of Security. The kobold stares at you with awe in his yellow, expressionless eyes. Can I have some? That would be a hilarious thing to follow up with. I don't have anything else to ask about milk. Ulster Chief of Security. Milk curious. Okay. Continue. I got 10 XP for that. Intelligence, thank the gods. I like it. I like following a folly down. That feels like that's very much in the spirit of role-playing games. Was there anything else to ask about where Ost was? See if we can backtrack a little bit. Did you boom it? Sure, now answer the question. Cobalt makes a growling noise. When it happened, I was in Water Lane on a mission. What were you doing on Water Lane? Milk, doing milk, deliver. Deliver milk, yes, side hustle. No, I think that was the end of that. Cobalt stares at you with very yellow eyes, yeah. Oh, I think the only option to leave is... Oh, we could charm person. But why would we bother? You know? So I think maybe these pop up and down when you can use a spell related to the conversation. So it's kind of situational. I don't think charming is going to help. So I'm going to thank you for your time, but I wish I could say Ost instead of Kobold. As I have paid attention to ask Ost's name. Dragon of Tolstad. You're here on request of Lady Sageleaf, a goblin chieftain in Tolstad. Go see her. River Takey. You were brought to the Lich House by some fishermen, but how did you survive your plunge into the river? Election week. Is that... was... Milcurious? Crown collection, coin capture, cash kidnapping. There are many ways to describe it. Get rich or die trying. I guess that's the side hustle imperative, right? So it's got a name, but we can't connect to it through this. So I wonder why it's actually laid out as a tree. When, So one thing leads to another thing. That's an interesting way of laying out a mystery. Right, in our inventory we have this thing. Broken sword. A standard issue Earthguard blade. That would fit with us. One-handed usage, lightweight, crap quality, makes you feel like a big man, an agent of the state. It's also broken in half, but if you lean tactically you can hide that fact from your enemies. Maybe you should go get it repaired. So I could equip it but lose some wisdom, so we won't bother with that. And then we've got an esoteric pocket watch. Silver-lined timepiece never shows the correct time of day. It is always at least 10 hours out of alignment, no matter how anyone tries to correct it. At a touch you can feel the faint magic pulsating within. The wielder gains a greater perception of esoteric happenings and occurrences within 200 feet. +1 intelligence advantage in esoteric events. Wonder what an esoteric event is. So can I equip Shards of Jewel? I don't wear stuff like that. I can wear the pocket watch though, right? Okay, let's tidy the inventory up. Lovely. Alright, well, I think we need to head up, don't we? Let me just check. How long have we been recording? Whoa, it's in nearly another hour. Okay. Well, let's see if this ends the thing or whether there's more. The smell of salt. Yeah, there were voices, weren't there? Let's see what happens. Feats. Completing a major... Oh. Oh. Oh, a sign? It says Biskin's Lich House, but then the and dentistry is scratched out. Can we zoom in? Oh, we can zoom out. Oh. Whoa, looks like there's a lot of dwarves over here. Fun. Let's do a little, should we do a little scrolled out walkabout? See if there's anything to... Oh. This is fun. This is a lot more expansive than I thought it might be. Fab. I think we're going to leave talking to all these fine... Whoa, there's people over there too. Are they cat people? I think we're going to leave talking to all these fine folks until next episode, because this... there's a lot more here than I thought, and I'm very much enjoying it. I think the tone, sort of the tonal cues it takes from Disco Elysium map quite well onto the archetypes of Dungeons and Dragons. So I think from that point of view, this is rather a success. I think the quality of the dialogue and some of the acuity of the observation is rather nice, rather telling. I am having a good time. So if you are too, then please join me again next time where we're going to talk to more of these people and find out what's going on. Well, some of what's going on. Until then, take care. Bye bye.